Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing, finally, Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 17, Down and Dirty Decision Day.
We made it to Decision Day.
Praise God, because I just been tired of everybody crying. And it looks like the next episode, they're still going to be crying.
It's another episode?
The reunion. If you guys haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell. And you ready?
Let's begin.
Okay. So instead of going in the order of who's most interesting, I'm literally going in the order that they appeared on our screens.
Okay.
Mirla and Gil. She said yes. He said yes.
Can I say I told you so? I knew it. Like halfway through.
Let's wait on the reunion, though. See where we are. Or you don't care what happens after the season.
I don't care about that.
Oh,
I'm just trying to make it to the end.
Oh, that's what I was. I forgot to go back and look at our after the wedding predictions. So
I know I said no to them.
Maybe I'll do it and put it on the screen somewhere.
Yeah.
Like your prediction, my prediction, and then what actually happened.
Yeah.
Let's hope I can remember
I see
that.
editing skills.
Let's hope I can remember to do that. So during their sit down, basically, they ask a ton of questions that Mirla answers negatively. One thing that I do want to say, as someone who sold jewelry for a number of years, we should normalize women not liking their rings.
Yeah.
I really hate the you should be grateful you got one. On Married at First Sight, everybody gets one. Let's normalize not liking the ring. Like, it's perfectly okay to not like a piece of jewelry that you have to wear or you're supposed to wear every single day. I know I don't have my ring. So I'm looking at my hand. But I picked out my ring, so kind of have to like it, right?
Right.
But I do want now everything else that she said that was negative. Like, stop asking her questions. Y'all know she's gonna answer negatively. I feel like Gil spent a lot of the ending of the season doing that.
He did. He definitely did. But I didn't expect her. Like, she just was like, I'm not holding back anything, because she was like, the wedding was terrible.
I can imagine like every reality TV wedding, like sans Married at First Sight, because they tend to not talk about their weddings like that. Every reality TV show wedding that I've seen has talked about how terrible it is to get married with production.
Yeah.
And I can see that, because the moments that are supposed to organically happen, they're asking you to do it again.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get the right angle. And so I could see you saying that your wedding, you didn't like aspects of your wedding day. But she also said she never wanted a wedding. She wanted a husband.
Yeah.
So kind of get it.
But it's like, when I was watching it, it was more so of a thing of just appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
I struggle with that. And the reason I struggle with that is because people would say that about a ring. You need to be happy you got one.
I'm just saying, it's like, I look at it like, I'm not a jewelry person, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy a good party.
Okay.
Just make for that situation, I saw what Gil was talking about when he was like, I just kind of make the best out of the best I can out of every situation, because even what she was saying, like, oh, I didn't like the wedding, but I wanted the husband. Mm-hmm. That was a part of the process.
But I think she could say, I appreciate the husband, because she's not said anything negative about the aspect of getting a husband.
I just feel like the some things can just be left alone because, I didn't like the wedding.
Don't ask me.
Did they ask her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Specifically.
I mean, like, just say, it was cool and move on.
Lie, though. That's what you want her to do, is lie.
Was it not cool?
She didn't like it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to not like things. I think it's the way that you say you don't like things. I think that's the issue with Mirla. I think it's the way that she says she doesn't like things. Yeah. But I just feel like to not like something.
I just feel like it was unnecessary for her to be like, the wedding was terrible. Like, just like whatever, and just move on past it. But anyway, she thought the wedding was
terrible. I think we
need
to normalize people's likes and dislikes. I think that Mirla has to do a better job of how she vocalizes and verbalizes the things that she doesn't like. But also, we have to stop asking her questions that we know the answer to. Not saying that they knew the answer to the wedding question, but I'm referring to Gil specifically, like asking her questions that he knew she did not like.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't have a comeback for that. So
all right. So next up was Bao and Johnny. While they were doing the montage for Bao and Johnny, I forgot all about Bao snoring.
Yeah, I did too.
Like, that was so beginning of the season. Old Johnny's petty.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, at this point,
I say one thing. Bao looked good in her red dress.
She did. She
red
nice.
is her color. She came to she was like, Johnny, this is what you're missing.
So I guess we'll start at the ending. Johnny said yes, he wanted to stay together. Bao was like, I'm out.
Which I think was a good idea.
He kept saying, well, not kept, but he said during his little speech of, stay together or not, that what's the harm in trying? I'm like, oh, now you want to try?
But his try, that's the thing. He tried this whole season, quote unquote. He was putting in more work. Why is it that this is what tells you that he really wasn't doing anything? Why is it that on decision day, you're like, I want to try, but then throughout the season, you're like, I'm putting in 150%. If you're putting 100% of work in, I'm putting 150%. So if you're putting that much, I'm here to tell you, if I was putting in 150% of work into something and there was a decision to stop doing this, I would stop. I would not try anymore.
If it's not giving me anything that I want. Yes.
I've tried everything that I could try at that point from the time period that they gave me. If I feel like I'm not getting enough and I've put in what I needed to put in, I'm going to stop. I'm going to say no. I'm done.
The interesting thing was he says that he lived for the day-to-day unplanned activities and unplanned moments that they had. And I'm like, these are the very things that you said she lied about.
Right.
You said she wasn't at home cooking. We have camera footage of her doing so, multiple times. You're like, she doesn't want to spend time with me. We see moments of her planning and executing y'all spending time together, and then you argue with her and leave and go home. Why would a person want to continue working with you? And the thing is people are saying that Bao is a different person when the cameras aren't on. Okay. Is Johnny different? Because Johnny is showing us why nobody would want to stay married to him on camera.
Yeah.
She's at least putting her best foot forward on camera. They said they film 16 hours a day.
Yeah. So how much time?
How much time is she being a bad person?
Right. Outside of sleeping. One thing I did want to bring up when it came to Bao, and this is something that I always thought of our relationship, and something that I didn't want you to go through, is Bao said in her marriage, she felt like she lost her voice. And of course, Johnny was sitting there looking stupid, like, I can't believe you said this, or no, you didn't lose your voice, or stuff like that. But that's something that I've always, when it came to you, when you quit your job and stuff, I didn't want you to lose Artieka in the daily life of townsendship. And there was something
that's gonna be another story for another day. I'm not even gonna go into it today.
but that's something that's a real thing. And throughout the show, it's like you can tell that she's holding her tongue on a lot of things because she did so much to make him happy, because it was all the adjustments that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, that Sarah situation, I don't know how she held her tongue.
I don't know either, man.
Because I would have been like, call her right now.
Right. I would have called Sarah.
You call her right now because I need her to know that you're here with me.
Yeah. But no, it's like, man, I could see how that's such a true statement because I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was like she held her tongue on a lot of stuff and she didn't fight for a lot of things that she wasn't getting in her relationship.
Right.
You know, and that's a real thing, you know, a real concern.
Absolutely.
What else did I want to bring up before we move on? Oh, he apologized to Bao for talking to Sarah. I don't see why he don't think that was a bad idea.
So the thing is I did watch Unfiltered, and according to him, Sarah was his friend first. Like he's known Sarah as long as he's known Bao, as far as like the full length of time. Now, he was like, Sarah called him to talk to him about buying a car or something along those lines. Yeah. And then they got into the conversation of the relationship. Yeah. I can see you saying, hey, you know, how's married life? But the fact that you start asking her these questions and start trying to pursue essentially negative information about your wife, that's where the issue starts.
I don't like, for me, it's not even, you know, you had the if she was your friend, you have the conversation about her. You're trying to learn a little bit more about her because she may know just a little bit more than you do. But those are conversations you kind of like leave in your pocket. You don't necessarily have to say, well, I talked to Sarah today and she told me X, Y, and Z about you. No, you don't have to do all that. You know what she told you. You know what information you can take. Everybody has an opinion. You know, you use it as you need to.
His purpose was to stab her in the heart. His
purpose was to figure out how can I get out of this situation, which leads me to the fact that he said yes on decision day, which like I said earlier, tells me he didn't really try. And then my thing is he said yes because he thought Bao was going to say yes.
He thought Bao was going to say yes because, and I forgot to mention that, because of the conversation when they all met up, like all the couples met up, and she was like, a no means I'm done and a yes means I'm willing to continue trying. Yeah. And if you're going to say no, there is no continue trying. Basically, she essentially said, you're dead to me.
Yeah. And he said, I was unsure when he walked in there. I'm so glad she said no. She said no, and she was like, she doesn't feel like she got the commitment that she came in to it for. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're absolutely correct. You didn't get the commitment that you wanted because he literally got what he wanted and then he left. Mm-hmm. Mentally, he checked out. He had to ride out his 8 weeks and, you know, he was gone after that.
Right. So next up was Brett and Ryan. So they give all these pleasantries at the beginning. And this was the couple we knew was going to say no, both sides. Yeah. They give their pleasantries at the beginning and Brett's all, Ryan's a great guy. Ryan's wonderful. I can see exactly why at our core we were matched. And Dr. Pepper was like, all right, so he's such a great guy. Good guys don't get on date naps when they're married.
See, I was like the way she brought it, like the way she brought it up. She was like, all right, cut the BS. We came for one thing only. Ryan.
Hold yourself accountable, man. That's it. I don't really have anything else to say about them.
She was like, are y'all done yet? Because I want to find out about this. I love Dr. P, man.
Like she really didn't have time for it at all. You got anything else for them?
Ryan is still apologizing about the dating app. He didn't
As
mean
he should.
He didn't mean he was hoping she can forgive him. Pastor Kyle asked him if she could have done anything to make it different. And I don't think she could have. Mm-mm. I think he was turned off because she wasn't an Instagram model. She was a school teacher. with red dyed hair. So, and it's like he took that and just couldn't get past that. I don't think the boy tried. Everybody kind of agreed that he wasn't ready for marriage.
Mm-hmm. Except for him.
He
had sad eyes.
He said he wishes he did. He wished he would have verbalized a little bit more.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
But I think they, they left in a space where they're able to be cordial and happy around each other. Not necessarily dating each other, but I ain't even gonna go as far as saying friends, but when they get around each other, they can joke. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like,
I think that they are the most cordial of all of the breakups this season.
Oh, yeah.
Or probably the last 3 to 5 seasons.
Yeah.
At least all the seasons that I've seen. I think they would be able to see each other out, say hi, ask how things are going,
right.
Tell their new person, hey, this is my ex-husband or this is my ex-wife. Right. And,
and move and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they ain't gonna be invited over to the barbecue or anything, but
no,
if they see them out, they're gonna say, hey.
And they would also be able to tell the new spouses, hey, it's not weird. We never had sex.
Right.
Done with them. So let's move on to Michaela and Zack. The very last sentence I wrote at the end was, this was stupid.
Yeah.
Michaela wanted to stay married. Zack wanted a divorce. So they're sitting down and they're talking about the good times together. And Zack pulls out a piece of paper and all the experts are like, is this your decision? Because what are we doing here?
So we're like, so yeah, it's
we're literally talking about what worked.
Yeah.
What did not work.
Yeah, he did pull out that paper like, all right, let me read this. And then he goes to commercial.
So he tells her at the ending that he wouldn't change a thing. And then he started crying.
No, he told her he loves her too. And she started crying.
Oh, yeah. I put she cries too. I didn't put the love part. But he says he wouldn't change a thing. He loves her.
Outside of his mom, she is the most amazing woman he knows.
Yeah, I want a divorce.
He built her amazing. Up to tear her completely down.
You are amazing. If he had said you're the most amazing person or woman I've ever been married to, all right, cool, not a lie. You ain't been married but one time.
Right.
Kind of like I call you favorite husband. Mm. I don't have one. However, you're amazing. There's only one person more amazing than you in my eyes. That is my mother, the person who gave me life. However, I would like to end this with you right now. Yeah. Period. And I'm not saying that he should have stayed with her.
No, I definitely don't think that.
Not saying that at all. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just that was a major buildup to give her some glimmer of hope. And then you saw the knife going through her heart.
Right. But I personally think that I think she was surprised by his no. Mm-hmm. But I think that they had already talked about how they wanted to continue on to.
They had talked about that at the ranch.
No, I'm talking about like between the ranch and decision day that we didn't see.
No, I can agree with that. But I'm saying like at the ranch, exactly what he said on the couch is what he said at the ranch. Yeah. So his stance has not changed. I think that she thought after the conversation with everyone else, his stance was going to change. Yeah. The problem is she let him lead everything and didn't verbalize that she did not agree. Mm-hmm. She was going along with it saying, Zachary and I understand each other. You don't, because if you did, this would not have happened.
I think for Zack, it's the idea of marriage. and how high he has it on the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I know we were married, but we need to go back a step. Because he's like, she's a great girl. She's this, she's that, she's this, she's that. But then he's like, I'm not sure about marrying her. And staying married to her is a lock and chain for me. Because I'm still not sure about her.
The interesting thing, though, is that even after the 8 weeks are done, they still have to be married another 6 or so months.
Yeah. But that's something that I don't feel like they're thinking about, like how long they have to be married to each other, or like the process afterwards, because they focus so much on, is this the person I want to be married to? Mm-hmm. But for him, it's marriage is such a esteemed thing. She basically she hasn't earned his last name. You know what I'm saying? In a sense of, and he's like,
I just feel like, okay, not saying that you can't hold marriage in high regards, but when you do a show like this, you get what you get.
Right. I mean, like, if you know that this person is not, it's a no for you, like, that's it. Mm-hmm. But you can't say, no, I want a divorce, and then we're going to make things work. That's like a waste of time for everybody. And then Michaela's going on along with it. Like, let's not let her off the leash.
No, I'm not. It's stupid. That's why I wrote, this is stupid.
Yeah. Michaela going along with it only helps him more in his line of thinking, because nobody in their right mind thinks that way outside of him and her.
I felt like Pastor Cal said everything that I wanted to say.
In a Christian manner.
Okay. I mean, it's just literally, I think that I could have literally said what he said, because it's like, do you understand that because you said you want a divorce, this is the end? And he's like, it doesn't have to be. No, do you understand that this is the end?
That's it, buddy.
Like, you said, I don't want to do this. So at this point, she don't have to do this because you said that's what you want. So
right.
Now you're going to be stuck. I really hate to use the term stuck, but it is what it is. You're going to be stuck married to this person for 6 months or more, depending on when you guys file for divorce, and there's still no resolve between the two of you.
All it was the idea of marriage, and he had to get out of that. If he's out of the marriage, he can focus on the person, because marriage is supposed to be this way, because that's how his idea of marriage is. Unlike in normal circumstances, your marriages are built upon the relationship. You know, and for him, it's so ingrained in him, because he it's always weird when people be like, oh, I want him to be married since I was 12 and blah this and blah that. But when they get married, it's different from how they pictured. But and that's what it was for him. That I personally think it's just he put so much on the word marriage, the relationship suffered. Mm-hmm. You know. And now he's trying to, let me get out of this marriage so I can think about the relationship part. But, I mean, both of them, I don't know, man. I don't have nothing else to say about that.
They're both nuts.
Yeah.
So last but not least, we have Jose and Rachel. They decided they were going to stay together.
That pretty much ends the show.
So one of the things that I thought was interesting, Dr. Pepper asked him if he fully trusts his wife. He kind of rattled off a list of reasons why he doesn't, but he never said he doesn't. And he never said he did. That means you don't trust your wife. Because if someone asks you, do you trust me? What is your answer?
Yeah, I trust her.
It's very simple. Yeah. Either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
And even people that, and I'm not saying in a marriage, but like family, friends, people that you don't fully trust, you trust them to an extent.
You trust them to the point you know that you can't.
Exactly.
You know,
so,
like I know if I do X, Y, and Z, this person is going to do X, Y, and Z. But I know if I do A, B, and C, this person may do N. If that makes sense.
It didn't, but okay. It's just one of those things where you trust people until you can't. He doesn't trust her, but he's got a perfectionist spirit. And this was the next thing on his to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
Get a high-paying job. Check. Buy a house. Check. Get a rental property. Check. Buy a car. Check. 815 credit score. Check. Need a wife.
Yeah.
Got one. Check. Now it's like, I don't think he wants to do anything to maintain the wife, because you can't maintain a wife like you can maintain a credit score. Mm-hmm. There's not a formula to it.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel is a person who can decide, I want to go to Tanzania tomorrow, and he can't say, but I paid all my bills on time. It's not a formula to it. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that he can't control. And I think he realized he couldn't control the situation when he locked her out and she went back to her ex.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I wish somebody could ask him that. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you locked her out? Was that the ending of it for you in your mind? And then you like, oh, shoot, I still got 4 more weeks of this. Let me act right for the next 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Or what is it? Like, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. What else did I write? Just about everybody getting together.
Oh.
And I do have a comment about that conversation. But Rachel and Jose, I really wonder, like, I feel like production sent Rachel back in to make up with him, right? But I want to know from Jose's vantage point, what did you think was going to happen the day you locked this woman out?
I don't know.
Because I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't have anything for them. They both said they wanted to stay married, so.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Last but not least, all the couples get together. Of course, they talk to the 2 success stories first. Rose and what do you call it? Girla.
That's what they call.
They call Jose and Rachel Rose.
Yeah.
I was just saying Girla to put them together.
I got you.
Like Zack and Michaela would have been Zakayla.
Gil and Mirla consummated their marriage.
Yes, that was what I actually wanted to bring up. Why are you telling everybody you had sex?
I mean, he's happy.
But no, at what point?
That's a thing that they do in this show. Like, everybody asks that question. Like, that's an asked question. Like, the big thing was he didn't get a kiss.
Nobody asked him.
Nobody asked him, but it's like that's a thing that they talk about.
When we were talking about sex throughout the season, I can understand chiming in then and there. But
you like,
we're having, I don't even remember what they were eating, tacos and having margaritas. And you like, by the way, we doing it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, hey, man, it just came out.
Yeah, but it's the same thing that, well, no, they asked. Did they ask at decision day or did he volunteer that? They asked because Mirla said no.
Yeah, she was like, well, yeah, no sense of lying. I was like, right on, Gil. Right on, brother.
Mirla's just like, stay out my business.
Anyway.
My business is my business, not they business.
Anyway.
I get it. Anywho, decent season. I'm happy that we didn't have a one big villain this season like we did last season, because I feel like our one villain last season overshadowed all the
everything
other couples
else.
And their issues.
Yeah.
Because there were glaring issues.
Right.
But this season, we got to villainize multiple people. Johnny was a villain. Yeah. Ryan was a villain. Johnny is a villain.
You said Johnny twice, so I guess, yeah.
Johnny was, Jose was who I met. Was a villain. I thought I said the first time. Jose was a villain. Jose was probably the...
Michaela was a villain at one time. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of a girl, because you ain't just finna pick on all boys. Anyway,
Mirla has been villainized.
Mirla started off as a villain, yeah.
And she's ended as a villain.
I don't think she... Like,
the reason I say that is because people are definitely in the number of, she should just be grateful. That's villainizing her.
I don't like...
You said it.
No, I said she should omit talking about the witness. Like, it's just unnecessary.
You know, people
to talk
say
about.
Omission is a line.
Anyway, it's not lying. She just like okay, whatever, Artieka.
But there's been a villain pretty much in every relationship. Yeah. Like, we've even villainized Zack.
I've been a villain in our relationship a lot. Anyway,
we're talking about this season.
I will say
what
for a show. If you look at individually, 6 out of 10 ain't bad. It's better than half. 6 out of 10, or 6 people said yes out of 10 people. It's better than half. So I'll take that as a show. That's a success in my eyes.
Is it?
Yeah. And as a for Pastor Kyle, Dr. Pepper, and Dr. V, I would look like, well, I got 6 people to say yes. So we picked the right people.
I really want to know how involved Dr. Pepper, Dr. Viviana, and Pastor Cal are in picking these people. Like, watch the interview that Nephew Tommy did about Ready to Love.
You don't watch the very first one, do you?
Never.
You should.
Okay, can I finish my statement?
Go ahead.
All right, so Nephew Tommy did an interview that was basically saying in Ready to Love, he is not involved in choosing these singles. He's like, by the time they get to me, everybody's ready to go. I'm just looking at their casting tapes to familiarize myself with who they are. And you can kind of pinpoint by the casting tapes who is going to go the long run. He's like, sometimes people surprise you, but you can kind of tell who's going to go far. You might not know who they're going to be with, but you can tell who has the tools to make it to the end. Yeah. Same for who's going to go home early. Mm-hmm. But he's like, no, I'm not involved in the casting at all. I think that the experts, I don't even want to just mention one person's name, but the experts, I think that they would catch a little bit less heat from people if they just admitted that most of these are production picks. Like, they're not somebody that you saw on paper. Like, you got a list of people, yes, and was like, oh, these two would be great together because of X, Y, and Z, but it's production orchestrated.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to know, like, do y'all get all of these tapes and sit in y'all office and watch them?
No.
Like, probably. Is this what you're doing at the church when you haven't...
They'll probably weed it out, and they probably look at a few and stuff like that. I don't know.
Like, do they look at, like, there's 10 singles that are getting married. Do you look at 12 and be like, these 2 need to go? Yeah. Like, what is it? What's the process? That's what I would like to understand, how they get to the people that they're choosing, because we know that they're not going through all of these tapes. And I think it would make us, as the viewing public, hold them a little bit less accountable for these terrible matches, because there have been some terrible matches. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much all I got.
Oh, okay. 2 out of 5 couples stayed together.
If you look at it from that's not a success story.
But I'm looking at it from the individual yeses that we got. That is a success. Also, question for you guys. What was the worst? Like, we talked about Brett and Ryan being one of the best breakups that we've seen on this show. What would you say is the worst breakup we've seen? I would have to say personally is I remember his name, but I can't remember her name. It was Matthew, when they, like, the guy that, like, basically left this girl stranded in that apartment for like a few days. He was a basketball player that played overseas, and
I don't think I watched that season.
Like on the reunion part, she was like, I just want a divorce and all this stuff. Like it was really bad. Like she was crying and some more stuff. So that was the worst one that I saw.
Matt and Amber,
yeah. So what is the worst breakup on decision day that you guys have seen? Leave a comment below and let us know. That's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Share it
to a friend that watches Married at First Sight, or somebody that just can't deal with the train wreck that is Married at First Sight, but wants to at least be able to hold a conversation about it.
There you go.
And then we'll put his comment down there somewhere and
we'll post it in the comment.
Pin it so y'all can answer that. You got anything?
No, that's it.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Peace.